I just slapped you. Are you alright?
What?
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Brandon Aries, and welcome to the Sanctuary. Sorry, the hands are flying everywhere because we got another remake that I'm pretty sure nobody asked for. That's right, from the original Patrick Swayze film Roadhouse, because Hollywood thinks nostalgia is its greatest weapon. Who am I kidding? With that said, let's talk movie. And this week, Roadhouse. As I said before, this is a remake from the original Roadhouse starring Patrick Swayze. I remember this film having a high resonance and pop culture vibe with my friends and I. So when I saw the trailers that they were making a remake, I was a little skeptical. Cause that's what all of Hollywood's doing now. What's that? This film hasn't gotten a remake yet? We're on it. Don't even get me started on this. I'm throwing hands! Jake Gyllenhaal plays Elwood Dalton. He was a former UFC big-time fighter until a tragedy happened in the ring, and he's still kind of reeling from that. So to get away, he takes this bouncer gig at a bar called the Roadhouse, which is also part of a family real estate scheme of crime lords and business. Anyway, Post Malone is in this movie. Music plug? But also he likes movies, so who knows? I gotta admit, Jake Gyllenhaal really comes into his own with this role. He doesn't try to overstep Patrick Swayze, but at the same time, he doesn't try to perfectly mimic what Swayze did in his rendition. Jake Gyllenhaal makes this role feel natural and effortless, very calm and steadfast. He starts off as this drifter that just wants to get away from everything and kind of start fresh for a little while, until he starts getting used to the environment and he comes naturally into his own. I mean, even to the point where he uses the environment to his advantage. The only thing that I feel like they tried to pick up but kept putting down was the whole flashbacks of the UFC thing. I didn't really feel like it added very much to the story. It was more so like reassurance, like, hey, he's a fighter. He can take care of himself. The chemistry between Dalton and Ellie feels unorthodox, but naturally grows in little parts that don't really feel like they last too long, which is good. There's one thing about this movie that I can't just get off my mind, and it's the fact that this feels like a 2004 film. I mean, come on, there's the fighting main character, there's the rich boy bully gimmick, there's this one muscly brute, and they're trying to take over the land. And the fighter says, nay, these people will kill you. You have to leave town. And at the end of the day, he's just walking tall. Wait a minute. It's a simple premise that feels dated, but it's not really like a detriment to the film. Yeah, it does feel like the same movie, just in a different font, but it's fine. All right, the moment I'm sure most of you clicked on this video for was to see the notorious performance of Conor McGregor. Let's just say his role is butt cheeks. He's a pretty typical unhinged muscle boy that they send like a angry guard dog. One that they feel like they have a leash on, but only unleashes itself. And I'm glad he's having fun, but yeah, I'm bored. It's nothing different. I've seen this whole bad muscly brute before. I mean, even the guy that hired him is like, yeah, I'm rich and I'm gonna take over this land, and then I'm gonna kill you. Moral of all of that is you've seen it before. Don't go into it thinking you're seeing something new. Let's talk about the fight scenes real quick, because I feel like a lot of the standard now for fight scenes is how much you can fit in one take. And yeah, that's cool, but don't let it get in the way of the intent of why they're fighting. There were just sometimes some camera movements that didn't really feel natural. Some were kind of disorienting, but the final fight was very good. I mean, it was better than the past few Conor McGregor fights, am I right? And look, the original has become such a cult classic over the last 10, 15 years. If you saw the original, you're gonna be intrigued to maybe open your curiosity and try out this one. Though I'll admit that seeing this one makes me want to go back and watch the original to kind of compare, because I know that there was no Sam Elliott role, but I mean, who can really compare to how good Sam Elliott was in that film? And yeah, there is this boycott that the team behind the film wanted this to be in theaters versus on Prime. I hate to admit it, but I would not go into a theater to see this movie. I would definitely open up Prime and give it a watch. And these past few months, other than a few choice exceptions, have just been movies that are great for streaming. However, Hollywood also needs to take consideration about movies to put in theaters. But don't take my word for it. I only review movies for hopefully a career living. I'm gonna give Roadhouse a 3 out of 5 because I think it was a good time. And honestly, for the time that it was, there's comedy, there's action. Jake Gyllenhaal's great. Conor McGregor is his unhinged, goofy self. What else could you want? Well, that's all I got to say about Roadhouse 2024. Let me know if you guys are going to see it, or if you did see it already. Put it all down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your input. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like. It is always so much appreciated here in the sanctuary. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. And next to that is a notification bell for every week this little Roy pops up in your feed. No kids today. Deadbeat dad. Bad. But in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace.